we've had Keir Starmer making, frankly, blatantly untrue claims about how clean energy will lower our energy bills this week. And we've also got the revelation that Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, is conducting an audit of the government's net zero green strategy after the warning that, well, turns out voters aren't very happy with all of it. Let's talk about this with Ross Clark. He's a journalist and author of, I've said it before, utterly brilliant book, Not Zero, How an Irrational Target Will Impoverish You, Help China and Won't Even Save the Planet. Good morning to you, Ross.
Good morning, Julia.
Always good to speak to you. Let's start, first of all, with Keir Starmer. He made some claims on TV yesterday. I'll just read out what he had to say, because I just immediately went, what? These are all untrue. I'm absolutely committed that an incoming government will get to clean power by 2030. That will lead to lower bills because renewables are much cheaper than fossil fuels. It will allow us to have security over energy. There's nobody that quarrels with the idea that if you get to clean power and renewables, the price of energy goes down. I mean, I've lost track of the number of claims he's made there, which are blatantly, provably false.
Well, exactly. Let's unpack that. Firstly, the Labour is promising to try to get to remove all fossil fuels from electricity generation by 2030. That's 5 years earlier than the government's own unrealistic target. Now, at the moment, we've got about sort of 35% of UK electricity is generated by some wind and solar and one or two other renewables. But at the moment, we are utterly dependent on gas to balance that supply because the sun isn't always shining. In fact, it goes down every evening. The wind isn't always blowing. And we're utterly dependent on gas to step in when those renewables aren't available. Yeah. Now, what happens in 2030 when Keir Starmer wants to turn off the gas? I just do not understand. He has not explained. I mean, there are various possibilities. You could cover Britain with batteries. You could, try and hope that the hydrogen technology comes on stream at the same time. But
again, there's a lot of hope involved, isn't there? Can I also ask you about what Rishi Sunak has said in terms of this? Well, we understand there's an audit of net zero targets. Some hope about, they're not going to try and replace all our boilers, but they are going to stick to their target of having all these cars, electric vehicles, basically, banning the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2030. Do you think they're going to have to renege on that?
I think they probably very much likely will, but the target that really is coming up quickly on us is the ban on oil boilers, which is scheduled for 2026. Now, oil boilers are, they are the mainstay of the heating system for people like me who live off the gas grid in the countryside. Yep. And, in a lot of houses in countryside they're old, they're not easy to insulate. And
there isn't any other option. I mean, that's the thing. I just think reality is smashing politicians in the face, and certainly voters are rather more aware of it than many politicians. Ross, always good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.